Okay, I was talking about our stories living in Saudi Arabia. Now we're tell you about one in Ireland. Um, the first trip we ever made was with after George had went overseas. Is with going to Ireland. That's where we decided to meet. So I met George over in Ireland at Limerick, and um, we had a wonderful time there. And the food was absolutely out of this world. And I couldn't get over how light it stayed. And at 11 o'clock at night, I took a picture of George out the window. But we were looking for things because we was going to meet a group, and we was joining the group. And in a few days, I came early and we stayed later. But when we was traveling, I went to Bunratty Castle, and we went around the grounds by ourselves. But then when we joined the tour, they took us in for a dinner. And so we went to Bunratty Castle, and we had to walk up these stairs, and it was just against the wall, and it just curved up it, and just narrow stone steps like came up to what they had a big dining area up there, and they called it the dining area, and that's where they visited. And we had drinks and stuff up there, and when I got up there, I went, oh my God. I said, George, I want out of here. I want down there. My neck was just hard, and the hair was just standing up on my neck and stuff, getting chills. And I kept saying, I want out of here. I want out of here. I want to go back down. Well, there's only one way to get back down, and that's where you come up. And so until everybody got up there, you couldn't get back down, no matter how hard you tried. Because when they started them downstairs, you had to wait and till they get to clear the top. And then when they go down, everybody went down. So I had to wait, and I kept saying, I want out of here. And I wouldn't drink it. I didn't like the mead. But George did, so he drank mine too. And so we finally got downstairs. I'm going, oh, thank God. And I was shivering. And I shiver to this day when I think about it. But when I get in there, this was the eating hall. And this was called the Great Room. And they had tables, big tables, and wooden seats to sit on like you see picnic tables. But these were great big long things. And very old and thick. They weren't like we throw our tables together. You know, they're very thick wood. So anyway, we were there, and everybody was in their costumes, and they looked so pretty. There's back to the old days. They had the big skirts and everything, and the man was all dressed up in his frilly outfits and everything. I mean, there was buttons up and down his chest and the whole bit, and he sat up on a table or a stage like up above us, and he sat up there at his table and chair and had a huge chair, and as he said, these were his maids in waiting. And they all had to wait on him, so they had to wait on us. So they brought the food out. Well, all you had to eat with is a knife. You had nothing else to eat with. And so we had a bowl, wooden bowl, and they had this knives. And so then along come the food. Well, some of the food was pretty hard to eat with a knife. But anyway, while they were feeding us, and I kept saying, I want to leave, I don't care, I just want to get out of here. And I don't care if I eat or not, George. And you're not leaving. You're not leaving. You're going to stay here with the rest of us. So I had to sit there. And so he was telling the story about the maids in waiting and how they waited on him and nobody could eat anything and how they threw their bones on the floor and by the fireplace. And he told the whole story. And then he told the story about Bunratty Castle was actually built with the McNamara's. Even though the O'Briens had it now, it was the McNamara's. I don't know who's got it now. But at that time, it was one of the McNamara's. And when I went over to Ireland, I thought, okay, I'm going to look up the Deluries. And that's all I was thinking about, because they were the ones I was raised with, and that's the only ones I really paid that much attention to. But when they said the McNamara's, I went, oh my God, that goes back to my great-grandmother. And I went, I can't believe this. And so when I said, oh my God, they're my ancestors, that's the McNamara's. Would you believe my chills stopped? I had no more chills. My neck was okay. I was just as normal as could be. And before that, I couldn't stand to sit. But when they mentioned McNamara's, and I said, oh my God, that's my ancestors. And it stopped. So talk about coincidence, whatever, I don't know what it was, but it stopped the minute I found out that it was McNamara's castle. So, but it was a beautiful, beautiful dinner, and everything. They gave us desserts and everything, but it was all with the knife and stuff, and it was very interesting.
What was the name of the castle?
McNamara.
No, the castle?
Oh, the castle, Bunratty.
Where's it at?
It's in Limerick. And there's a pub up the street, but we didn't go into the pub. And but it's kind of off by itself, and it's got a few old huts in there, houses that they lived in, the old type. And it was very interesting to look at and see how they came from there to the big Bunratty Castle. And there's been several castles around there, but I did not get up to Sligo County, because Sligo County is where the Deluries came from. The McNamara's came from County Court. So but it was very interesting. But why my chill stopped when I said, I got them my ancestors, I don't know. But before that, if George was alive, he'd tell you, he just about had to hold me, because I was going to knock those people down just to get out of that place. I mean, I could not take it. And my arms, everything was just tingling, I wanted out of there. I couldn't stand it. And then here it's my ancestors.
Maybe they're waking you up.
Well, something there, I'll tell you. I don't believe in spirits, but there was something there. So I don't know. But there's another little story that they wanted me to tell about old Dick. And he was one of the fastest horses around. And my brother and them needed a pulley. It was a rope pulley where they pull up, what they used to really to hold anything. You could use pulley different directions. You could use it in the fences, you could use it whatever. That's how we hung our butchering. When we did our butchering, we hoisted them up on that pulley. And anyway, our cousins had it. The Persingers had moved in the farm up the road from us, and they had it, so Jim sent me with the horse to go get it. And he could have got it in less time, but he wouldn't have time to put her around then. So he sent me after it. Well, of course, I went with the horse, and like I said, when she ran, she was very fast. And I was riding down the road, and the road, it was dirt, but where they drive, it gets like pavement because it's just the constant wear on the ground, and it packs it, so it's just about like pavement. And so it was not too far. It wasn't too far from Persinger's, and all of a sudden, I felt myself going over his head. He stopped on a dime, and when he did, I just went right smack over his head, and of course hit the ground, and evidently it kind of knocked me out. And because when I came to, I looked up, and here was this horse hoof right over my face, and it was just like this, and he was just a weaving back and forth, but he would not put that foot down. And so then I rolled out from under him, and then he put the foot down. But that's the type of horse he was. And what happened is he seen a little rabbit run across, and he was raised with these kittens and stuff, so anything like that he was always protective of. So because of a little rabbit, I got knocked out. But it did, that hoof was right like that over my head when I finally looked up. And I